There's only one place in this United States that
Okay. All right, can everybody hear me? I can't hear anybody.
We hear you.
Okay. I don't think that's not Sarah Logan, is it?
Oh,
No. I can't hear anybody, so I'm not sure. You guys can hear me, correct?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, so
Sarah and Addison, can you hear?
I can hear.
don't know what's going on here.
I can hear Kristen. I can hear
Okay.
the room.
Got it.
Can
Gotcha.
you hear me?
Gotcha. Yep. All right, we're good now. All right, so sorry about that, you guys. Little technical difficulty. Here we go. All right, so it is Wednesday, August 19th, 2023. It is 1:02. Call to order, let's see, Anna White,
Here.
Chris Bridges,
Here.
Bob Rhodes,
Here.
Addison Houston. I know I see his name up there.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, oh, now I can. Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Sean Iliff,
Yeah.
Ed Schroll.
Here.
Let's see, Frank, is Frank
Here.
there? Oh, hi, Frank. Okay, Becky Leach.
Hi.
Hey, Becky, Becky, I didn't see Sean Pease. Is he gonna come or is he?
Patient.
He's on vacation? Oh,
Yeah.
good for him. Okay, and I see Sarah. Hi, Sarah Bisson. Thanks for hopping on.
Hello.
Okay, so I need oh, that was a roll call. I need an approval for the meeting agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Approval of minutes from July 12th, 2023.
I move the approved minutes.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Announcements. Well, the only announcement I have is one of our board members, Sean, it's his birthday. So I just wanted to say happy birthday. I was not going to let that one go. So happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, so I see that we have some people from the public. Don't know if you guys have any public comments. Want to make a public comment? No, nope. Did we get any written comments submitted? No? Okay. Okay, great. We don't have any new business to discuss today. Old business, it shouldn't take too long. Well, the Chinook toilets, I think, Becky, we're just waiting, right? Oh. Can you repeat that?
The proposals for the utility hookups are due tomorrow. So when I get them, I'll send them over to you.
Okay.
The first came in at 66,000.
Oh, okay.
So went back out, and one of the reasons that it's so expensive is that we have to lay gravel under the building. The building, it seems like they, it's the plug and play. You don't have to do anything to this building but drop it and plug it. And once they start building it, they tell you all of the other things that you have to do, which but that's one of the reasons why it's more expensive, but it doesn't need to be $66,000. So rebids are due tomorrow, and I expect them to be 45,000 or less. That's my expectation. Yeah.
Still a lot of money. Okay. All right. It is what it is, I guess. All right. Anything else on the toilets then? Anybody? No. Okay. Dog park. Lots
Concrete
going on
pads.
there.
Yeah, concrete pads should be installed next week. And they are being installed for the benches. They will be ADA sized. And which means that there will be an area to the left, I guess the benches may be installed to the right or to the left, but there will be room for the benches to be installed so that a wheelchair can go up next to the bench. And people will be able to get out of their chair and onto the bench. So those pads will be ADA sized. And then the concrete pads are also being poured for the weigh stations and the leash holders. So that's all being done next week.
They were there yesterday.
With a concrete truck?
Yeah.
Oh, so they did it a week early.
They were still working with the frames and
Okay.
everything, but
I'll drive out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So maybe we'll be done early.
Do we have a grand opening date set yet?
We know, I talked to Scott today and told him that next week we'll get together and plan. So
Okay.
I'll get with the Parks Board because everybody's gonna wanna be there and we'll do a big grand opening, ribbon cutting. And I have your list as well, so we will, we'll get that going for end of August, beginning of September it'll be able to be used before we have the grand opening, because as soon as it's ready, we'll open it.
Okay. And we're still planning on Wednesday closure for maintenance, correct?
Yeah, and I have a sign that says park closed Wednesday for maintenance, so that'll go up.
Okay, I think it's just a good idea that we put that out there on all the Facebook posts that we have, that it's going to be closed on Wednesday, just trying to keep people in the loop as much as possible. So, okay, great.
Maintenance?
It won't take the whole day, but it'll just be posted that it'll be closed the whole day.
Yeah,
You can't rely on the street department to say,
Okay.
you know, in case that they have an emergency that comes up or something. And
so will it be padlocked then the whole day or?
no, there will just be a sign that says it's closed on Wednesday. So like honestly, if you were there and you saw them mowing and then leave, you could go in and use it,
Okay,
which is what'll happen, and that's fine.
yeah.
okay, perfect. Does anybody else have anything about the dog park? Nope. Okay. Playground equipment, I think that that's also just in the holding pattern of it's just taking time to get here, right? So end of October, November.
Yep,
Okay, all right. And weather dependent for install, correct?
correct.
All right.
Jack, real quick, John said he'll put together the little crew stations. So.
There, I did,
You already done
I
that?
did, yeah,
Okay, I did not think, okay.
I did, thank you though.
Okay, great.
I have a question,
Yeah,
real quick, the benches, and we have to put them together, right, once they are shipped before.
yeah. So the benches are number 4 on our list, so we'll talk about that. Yeah. Okay. All right, anything else on the Chinook playground equipment or anything that we were on? Okay. Skate park. So lots happening there. I'm super happy to announce that the skate park is shipping on Monday. And they, excuse me, they said delivery will be at the end of the week. I didn't hear that.
Can we go back to Chinook Park?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sorry, the water fountain's gonna be installed in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Sean, the street department and the water department are working together for that installation. So that will go in so that the water fountain will be there before the dog park opens.
Oh, that's
And-
great.
Yeah, so that's exciting that that'll be done, and the water department's gonna put together the water fountain for me, so that was good. I'm thankful for that. And the funds for the parking lot, the new parking lot, there's not gonna be enough funds for the new parking lot. But what I would like to do is use what the funds are that are gonna be left over to do the path system from the old parking lot to the restrooms, to the dog park, to the water fountain, to the playground, because I think that there will be enough to do that, and we need to have a path for ADA from the parking lot to the restrooms, and I think it should all be connected for ADA purposes, right, anyway, through that park, the new things that we're putting in. And when Sean and I were out standing in the previous, like when we were out standing in the current parking lot, I said, is there a way we can expand this current parking lot? And he said that he thinks if we just put some more of the logs that are there to, you know, that are there as like what stops you from driving onto the grass. If we just throw some more up and they do some of what they would do to expand that, we can get more cars in that current parking lot. So he thinks the street department can just work on that and expand that parking lot.
So we can expand the current parking lot, which is the boat launch where the people park their trailers and for boats, correct?
Yeah, to get some more parking spaces until in the future, we would have more funding to do a new parking lot.
Okay, so we're not going to be taking away from, I don't want to take away from the people who use it, you know, for their trailers.
Right,
Okay,
yeah,
All
not
right,
taking
well-
away.
Are we sure that there's going to be funds left over, considering that these other bids, these utility bids are coming in so high?
Yeah.
What if they don't come back in at 45
What-
to?
What I have is, I have utility hookups down at $45,000 estimate. And after everything all in, it shows $103,000 left. But the estimate for the parking lot came in at like $175,000.
Got it.
Yeah, so,
You know, why can't we just simply, we originally talked about having parking with the trees on the side, without taking the trees out. You know, I stopped in the other day and talked to the guys that were working there. I parked my Jeep between the trees. There's plenty of parking. If just a little bit of trimming gets done, you easily have 10 spots of parking right there, and people will do that anyway.
right,
So, you know, and why do we have to go real drastic out with building a parking lot when we can just add a couple spaces? And once the park is fully functional, yes, it will be used more and more people will be there. But on an average day in the summertime, there's 4 cars, 5, 6 cars, a trailer.
right.
I mean, it's not like the park is overly crowded at any point where people are parking out in the streets.
Sure. To add the 10 spaces, you have to have the ADA spaces that have to be paved. And then you also have to have an erosion plan. And then you need to do a storm drainage plan. I talked to the engineer, there are all of these things that kept getting, you know, added that need to be done to it. And so it's just like, at this point, we need to take a step back. Focus on what we're putting in the park now and finish what we're putting in the park now. Because there's not, I mean, we can't just throw gravel, and that's not what you're saying, right? You're not saying just throw gravel out, but we just, to do the parking lot right, it's gonna cost too much money.
Yeah, okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
okay.
That's all I have, thank you.
Yeah, so on that, the money that's left over and you want to do the path, it's not the whole path, it's just a path that's kind of connecting the playground with the dog park. So it's kind of half of that, correct? It's not the perimeter of the park, correct?
That there's not enough to do the whole perimeter, and if there's enough to do more, we could talk about where else you would like it to go. Or we could use it for other dog park items or other, you know, I mean, at that point, I'll get an estimate for how much it's gonna cost to do the path. And then we'll regroup and talk about what to do with what would be left.
Okay, all right, that, yeah.
That's works.
Okay, because I know that there's some dog park people wanting some things inside the dog park that, you know, I just said, we'll just have to wait and see how much money we have left over if anything. So, all right. Anybody else have anything about Chinook Park?
I do.
Yep,
The signage, is that gonna be on the fence before we open?
Yes, yep, it will. They're in my office. I've got,
Okay.
open, I would say this backwards, dawn till dusk.
Yeah.
One for
that's
each.
correct.
Those will go on the fences, and then the dog park rules will go on signs in front of, like, by each fence. And then the closed Wednesday will go in the middle.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Great. All right. Moving on to skate park. That's okay. All right. So Monday, the new park is being shipped. They said it would be arriving at the end of next week. So we've got a potential assembly date of Saturday, August 26th. So we'll be looking for volunteers to help with that. I'm really, really, really happy to announce that Arrow Lumber is helping the foundation with the lumber piece of it. So really excited to have them on board and helping us with some of that cost. But we're going to start putting out for volunteers. Sean, you said that you might have some students that are looking for some hours, and I had sent you the volunteer form, the minor volunteer form, and you got that, correct?
We were just kind of waiting on the date, really, more than anything, so I can get it locked in with the kids and see how many I can get rounded up on. I know a lot of them are vacationing right before the school year starts and stuff like that, so I'll do my best to get a few people to come and help, and I'll bring my kids and make them come help too.
Great. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So again, it's going to be August 26th. That is weather dependent. Let's hope that we have some good weather. It should just take one day. Hopefully with all the people that we can get out there. So Bob, I know that you had spoke to some friends about helping as well. So I'm not sure that's still happening, but I'll put that out on the Facebook post. So just asking for everybody to spread the word that we'll be looking for some volunteers. We'll also, volunteers will need to bring probably just some general tools. We'll supply some of the other bigger tools that might be needed, but Arrow Lumber might help us with some of the cuts of the bigger lumber. We just have to ask for them. That's basically all I have. I'm hopeful that we can get this up and functional before Labor Day weekend. That would be great.
That would be.
Yeah. Yeah, so huge shout out to Arrow, huge shout out to everybody who helped the foundation with this. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Is there one person in charge?
A go-to, well, there's Ed and I from the foundation are the go-to. Addison is also a go-to. He's been a rock in helping us with what we need. And so he's kind of take the lead with some of the build of it, or all of the build of it.
Yeah, and I have all the schematics and assembly instructions now. So I think one of the things that I'll try to do before is go out and kind of get established layout of the park so we know where things will be going. Largely, we'll be going into the same spaces where things were removed from, but just want to get an actual layout on the ground. So I might be trying to do that. At least go out there with some chalk and mark up some spots.
Thank you. That's a good idea.
Yes,
Okay.
Ed.
So I am planning and quite confident that Arrow will volunteer some volunteers from them, and they are all, well, most of them are in the construction trade. So I think we're going to be fine as far as having people who know what they're doing. And so if Arrow shows up and they're there, I think that'd be fine. And as far as pre-cutting the lumber, they'll either pre-cut it or they'll have somebody do it on site. So I think we're in good shape with that.
Great. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Thanks. Yeah, so super excited. I'll be sending out the Facebook post pretty soon. So anybody have any questions about that? Nope.
So
yeah.
did the cut list get shared with Arrow Lumber? Because they're
Yes.
all right, great. Yeah, that's just a substantial amount of cuts.
It's a lot of cuts. Yes, it was sent to them. So perfect. Parks comprehensive plan, we are still in the editing phase of things, so we're just continuing with that. Benches, so the benches are done. We sold 10 benches. They're 8 to 10 weeks out. I'm working with the manufacturer right now on making sure the plaques, the spelling is correct and all the language, and so that'll be done on Monday. So it's 8 to 10 weeks until we get the benches. Ed, you had a question about the benches.
Yeah, the assembly of the benches. they will need to be assembled before they can go out to the park or are we planning on assembling them out at the park? So I guess the assembly of the benches is my question.
So good news is Public Works has agreed to assemble and install the benches.
Awesome.
So they'll be shipped to Public Works.
Okay, perfect. That's great news.
That
Thank
is
you.
good news.
Did you get the address? Because I completely forgot to send it to you.
No, I did not. I'm getting the skate park confused. They were trying to send the skate park to Public Works and they had the address. So, but no, I did not. I can get that. But Addison, you have a question.
Yeah, sorry to go back to the skate park. Just
Okay.
curious, there's one part about needing to make sure that materials stay covered. I'm assuming
Yes.
that shed is not big enough for the materials. So do we have access to tarps?
I saw, that's right. I saw that. Well, we'd have to buy them.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I've got a tarp. Ed, I don't know if maybe some people have some tarps that we can borrow, but yeah, we will need to keep
Yeah.
them covered.
Otherwise,
Uh-huh.
I think it's easy enough to get that like landscaping plastic that they sell at Ace and just
Okay.
sandbag it.
Okay, I'll make a note. Okay, thanks. All right. Let's see, so we did that on the benches. So anything else on benches? Anybody? Nope. Okay. Sarah and the RCO grant for the deferred park maintenance. I think that opens up on the 15th still. Sarah, I'll let you talk about that if you'd like.
Yes, it opens on the 15th. It's for deferred maintenance projects. They changed the parameters a bit from 50,000 to 100,000 grant cap request to $35,000 to $100,000. The current cost estimate for recoding both tennis courts is $52,000. There's no matching share required. Applications open on August 15th. They're due on September 18th, and they will be awarded by August 31st. Projects must be completed by June 30th, 2025. And this is specifically for deferred maintenance, meaning a backlog of maintenance work that we have staved off due to prioritization. So there are a couple parameters in regard to the funding and when and how we can apply under like which category. And that is what they consider ground disturbing, which I expect an answer sometime next week in regard to what they actually consider ground disturbance. Recoding and resurfacing partially being done is not considered ground disturbing. So my question is, are we tearing anything out? We talked about recoding. What does that entail?
So we're not tearing up any surface. We're just going to resurface it, correct? The only thing that we have to actually replace and take out of the ground is the steel net holders. Those have to be taken out and reconcreted back in.
Okay.
So
I think that will fall under non-ground disturbance. We should be okay there.
yeah, we should be. I mean, Becky.
Yeah, but I have to verify with the vendor, but we should just be sealing and going, sealing the cracks and going over. I will verify that so it doesn't bite us later.
Okay.
Well, I've seen the work being done for the community club, and they put a tar-like substance on top of it. They let it dry, then they paint it. They let that dry. That seals everything. Then they paint all the stripes and all the lines and all of that. So the concrete does not come out. It just gets the surface of the concrete gets cleaned up and fixed and resurfaced.
Okay, that is perfect. That makes things a lot simpler. And it sounds like we'll be able to move forward. Becky and I will be doing a final walkthrough this week just to go make sure that we've got everything covered under the request.
Okay, so I just want to go back over those dates real quick, Sarah, just because, so
Sure.
what you're saying is it closes September 18th, but then the award is August 30th of 2024? Is that what I heard? So it takes a year?
Oh, oops. No, October 31st, 2023.
Oh, thank you. Okay, October
Yes.
31st, 2023. But the project needs to be completed by June 30th of 2025, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
And is that $52,000? And maybe Becky can answer this. Does that not only include the resurfacing, but also includes, like we talked about, like it needs a new bench, 2 new benches, and it needs new signs, some of those things?
The 52 is just for the tennis courts and everything encompassing the tennis courts. And then Sarah and I are gonna go next week and I'm gonna button up the benches,
Okay.
picnic tables, signs, and then if there's anything else that we see at the last minute, we just wanted to get our eyes on it one more time. And
Okay.
together, because we haven't been together for us
Okay.
too. And then we'll have a final number.
Okay, and then Sarah, they are opening it up next year as well, correct? So we can look at one more park that we might be able to touch with this grant?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, and I can forward that information on, so maybe we can look at your prioritization list for the upcoming grant cycle.
Okay, that'd be
Mhm.
great. Okay. Anybody else have any questions about the grant with Sarah? Nope. Ah, great. Thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Let's see, we're just moving right along. Discussion. So it's been brought up that we're spraying the goat heads at the 2 popular parks, which is Chinook and North Bay, and we're on a maintenance schedule for that, right, Becky?
We are not, but we're going to get on one.
Okay, so there's at least one other park that I think that we need to talk about, which is Gunderson. It's an adopted park, but it definitely is used and it has goat heads around the perimeter. Is there any way that we can add Gunderson? And I think, is there any other parks that anybody can think of? I know Emerson, which is where the tennis court is, doesn't have any goat heads. Anybody know of any other park that you can think of that might need? Texmar. Okay, Texmar Park.
And the Lions Club too, because that kind of draws little kids and they tend to fall. And.
Yeah, we will definitely need to get those sprayed.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'd sent Sean some information about that. There's a roller that you can get that help collect the goat heads while we're in the process.
Yes, I'm going to order that for him. He wants to burn them and I said no. I said no, please, we're not gonna burn them. So I'm gonna order him the roller and we're gonna see how it works, because especially right now, as dry as Chinook Park is, I think the roller's a really good option.
Why is Chinook so dry?
It's because, well, when I asked Sean, one of the reasons, well, he said it's summer, but one of the reasons it's so dry is the zones are set up wrong on it. He said the zones were never set up properly. The whole park is on one zone, so the pressure's not what it should be.
Oh,
So
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, his plan is to rezone it so that he'll get it going, but that's on his list of things to do, but it is on his list, so that's good. But yeah, the roller, it's kind of like a carpet on a roller. I'm not sure what the material is, and you pull it through and it rips the goat heads out. What I want to see is if it rips them out from the roots, but
No, it just
doesn't,
collects
just
them.
collects
Just
them.
collects.
Pokey things going,
Yeah,
But
they have to have
that's
something
gonna
for the
be,
dog.
that's gonna be kind of a.
Labor intensive.
Yeah. And we're
So
talking,
you guys, we can remove them. We can remove those goat heads that are current, but then
Yeah.
the spraying and the watering will keep new ones from coming. So it's not like you have to constantly do this roller.
Yeah, and we have to have something for the dog park. We could even have one at the dog park that people can use.
I think once the dog park opens up and people use it more and more, you're not gonna have anything but sand there.
Yeah.
anyway.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's.
So the initial piece might be important, but after that, it's all gonna go away.
Yeah,
Cause I mean, the dog parks everywhere, especially in the rainy season, will turn to just mud pits.
Yeah.
Well, we will have to address that once that happens.
yeah. And then over time, when I talked to the gentleman that does the go-ahead treatment, he said that they can be eradicated over time. You really just have to stick with an actual treatment plan and not the spraying twice a year, but we have to be more aggressive with it, which we can. We will.
We don't have a choice. We've got parks that we need to be able to use and we can't use them with goat heads. So we
Yeah.
just don't have a choice. Okay, so we've got Texmar, Gunderson and Milo Schneider added to that. So anything else? Any other?
I just have a question about the goat head vacuum.
It's a roller, like a
Yeah.
big roller, like a lint roller, if you will.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah. But it wasn't very expensive.
Should we order two?
Potentially, yeah. I want to say it was like $300 or $400.
You wanna see how good it works first?
Yeah, I do want to see how good it works first. Yeah.
What is this product name?
I'll email it to you. I'll
Okay.
send it to you. Yeah.
I'm curious, it's like one of those weird products.
Yeah, I found goat heads in my yard yesterday. I was
I was
like,
gonna say, that has me too, that one too.
Yeah.
That's my yard too.
Yeah.
So that was the one thing I wanted to discuss. Anybody have anything in general they want to discuss?
Yeah, I do. Are we going down the list or are you just asking in general?
Not report, just in general to discuss. Okay, but I mean, are you talking about in your report, Ed?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Okay, all right. All right, so moving on. Let's see, I've been busy working on the foundation and getting the benches finalized. And then and doing the skate park. So I'll be happy that when these two things are behind me. It's taking up a lot of time, but I'm happy to have them done. I'm really excited that we had sold 10 benches. I'm really impressed with the community and it seemed like it was well received. So I appreciate that. Yeah. Anna, do you have anything to report in general?
No, but I do want to put a pin in the thought that you said about the dog park, gonna kind of go nasty after it's been used a lot. Can we put some kind of a side note to maybe think about putting some clover seeds down in that area? It doesn't need to be mowed. Dogs can walk on it, do everything on it. It's actually a really good way to keep it usable and maybe keep down the mud. So we put a pin in that for a future talk about.
What was it called?
It's clover seed,
Clover seed. Oh, okay.
like little brown carpeting clover that goes everywhere. There's all sorts of great ones. There's some that people, when they walk on it, it smells like lemons. You know, so I mean, it's really dog friendly and it might help keep some of that sand out of our cars.
Might help goat heads too. choke 'em
Yeah.
out.
It's
Yeah.
as long as it's not poisonous, I think that would be my only concern, but we can check it out.
Nothing will grow in there once, if it gets used a lot, nothing will grow in there. We'll have to go back to our original thought of putting gravel in there or bark in there. I mean, we'll have to address that. I thought originally that's what we were doing, but it's fine. I'm just happy to see the dog park getting up and running. So we'll address that issue when it comes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we might have to like circle back and
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of trial and error since we've never had a dog park and our weather can be kind of weird. So I think as long as we can get some patience from the community, but we're open to trying different things, but I forgot one other park. I'm sorry, that's Goat Heads is Northeast Grand Canal. I apologize. I think if you could add that one.
I've got it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so Anna, all right, that's good to know. Chris, do you have anything in general to report?
Well, just what I sent you yesterday with the Sean and his crew, they've been weeding the signs that the oyster shells are in, and so they all look really nice because some of them were getting pretty weedy. And then they did remove the old dilapidated sign at North Bay and at Chinook. So it's easy for them to mow for sure, and it looks 100% better, so
Oh, good.
kudos to them.
Yeah, he's been working
Yeah,
hard.
they're really, yeah, they're really doing, they're stepping up.
All right, perfect.
Thank you.
Ed,
Yes, I'm here. Well, tonight's the Whoopathon, the last Whoopathon meeting, so I'll be attending that at 4 o'clock. Okay, the Whoopathon is slowly but surely turning into a disaster, okay? But
oh,
we're gonna be there. So I have a question about that. You're not in town and the Whoopathon's on the 19th. How will I have access to any of the dog bags, the
Okay.
job stuff?
okay, we can talk about that offline because that's foundation stuff.
That's fine. Okay, I
Okay.
just don't want to forget that. And also, you know, tent volunteers, that sort of thing, right? Okay, that's one thing. And the second thing is I applied for our roundup for IGA for 2024. Okay, I already sent in all the necessary paperwork for that. And it is in the right hands. I will do the same since I now have a form set up. I will also send one to Steve Buck over at ACE.
Okay.
In the same format. So that's what I got.
Oh, great, thank you. Addison, anything general to report?
No, just wanna keep putting in the pin for Tonquin Road End. And
Oh, okay, to
yeah.
delineate who's DNR, who's city, and who's
Yep.
federal or
Yep,
state.
just to see if there's any potential in the future to make that more accessible.
I went down there. That's
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really nice.
it is a nice little access point. Okay. Okay. I'll add that to our, maybe we can talk about that next meeting, so. All right. Bob, do you have anything general to report?
I just have something to report about the Heckamore Park. I know that's kind of duplicating, but since our last meeting, we painted up the fencing and the table. Looks very nice. The city provided some paint, I provided the rest of myself. And we had a work party out there, a work session Monday to work on removing some of the goat heads that are existing, because while we were painting the other day, a gal pulled up with her tricycle with her stand-up paddleboard on a really nice cart. And it's a good thing that our friend Jim Golden had pulled out a lot of the goat heads before she arrived, otherwise she would have had flat tires on all tires. So I'm thankful for
Yeah,
that. We're still working on that.
okay, okay. All right. Sean, anything general to report? I know
Nothing
Bob just
general.
did his park, but okay. Great. Frank, anything to report from council?
Nothing to report.
Okay. Okay, that goes to park inspection report. Chris, thank you for looking at Chinook and Spinnaker for me. She just kind of reported on that. So Spinnaker looked good though too, right?
Yes,
Okay.
they mowed up also, so.
Okay.
That's another tip there. True.
Great. How about Chris, sticking with you? How about North Bay and Limpet? How are they looking?
They're looking good.
Okay, great. Anna, you have Marine View and South End.
Busy, busy, busy right now. It's the summertime. Those ones are just popping.
Okay, all right.
On the
Somebody
desk.
had mentioned, somebody, a citizen had mentioned that maybe a porta potty at Marine View in the
Oh,
future would be.
absolutely, kid. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I've been wanting that forever. So I was asking when we took it from Chinook, could we move it over to there? Because you see all these people coming off of the water and
Okay,
nobody knows where to go. I mean, they're going down to Damon, or they're going over, unfortunately, to Oiva too, and using their bathrooms and.
or in the weeds.
Some outlets.
Okay, all right. Becky, what do you, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I took the note. I think it's a good idea to move it from
Okay.
Chinook Park over, and that bathroom, I didn't say this, but, delivery second to third week of September, we got confirmation on that, so.
Oh, that's earlier than we thought.
Weeks, and
Right.
I'll mention that to Sean, how it moved over.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
yeah.
Okay. Ed, Emerson.
Nothing new. We're just kind of in a holding pattern.
Okay. Addison, skate park is status quo, and Gunderson. So hopefully we can get some goat head treatments there.
Yep, otherwise Gunderson looks like it's doing good.
Great. Okay. And then Bob, you just talked about Texmar. Sean, you had Northeast Grand Canal and the Lions Club.
Yeah, the north end of the canal, we're starting to get a big pothole on the exit of the parking area. Cause people, like, right as you turn right out of there, it's really sunk in there, so we could get some gravel in there, that'd be awesome. And then I talked to Jeff today about Lions, they finished their building, it looks really good, and they're putting in some new springy, toys for the kids to ride in there too, so it's looking awesome over there.
Oh, good. Okay. That's
Did you say the pothole is Northeast Grand Canal?
Yeah.
this is a fast meeting today, guys, so appreciate you guys being on. So our next meeting is September 13th, and it's actually our 6 o'clock meeting. So it's a special meeting, so we won't be able to take any votes. I just have to remember that. So I always try to do votes. So next meeting is September 13th at 6 o'clock. So I need a motion to adjourn the meeting at 1:42.
Oh, make that motion.
All in favor?
Bye.
All right, you guys, thanks a lot.
Thanks all.
Thank you.
You make the technical.
Like this.